On the very first play from scrimmage, Los Angeles ran a play action play with a four verts concept. This play allowed Puka to run deep, but he could sit it down if he was capped by the safety to the right and to the left. Puka sits it down perfectly, and Stafford throws him a great ball against the zone pressure that Minnesota was going to show all night. I think this play set the tone pretty early on that LA was going to pass very heavily. And Stafford, again, was on point from the very beginning, allowing LA to get the momentum rolling early. While the Rams had a really easy time protecting their quarterback, Minnesota had a little bit more trouble. Darnold was pressured up and down the field, leading him to make bad decisions because of less time. But when he did have enough time, he made the right reads up and down the field. For example, they high-load the cornerback here on display, and Darnold rips the corner to Jefferson, leading to a big play. The Los Angeles rushing attack was also a very pivotal point in this game. Los Angeles generated three explosive runs with their running backs compared to Minnesota's one. The Vikings are in one high with man coverage across the board, and the Rams motion Puka Nakua to the other side. This causes Minnesota to bump their coverage, meaning that the people in man coverage move over one person. Puka isn't running a route, but instead he's inserting for the run to kick out one of the linebackers. This enables LA to get an explosive run, and with a couple bits of bad tackling, it leads to a big gain and a large change in momentum. Desperate to get some big explosive gains, Minnesota started dialing up big plays, but unfortunately, on these big plays, the blocking was lackluster. Darnold had to step up very quickly into the pocket on a lot of these plays, which kind of threw off the tempo that he thrives on a lot. On this play, Minnesota ran a play called Z High. This has two over routes with a deep out route run by Jefferson. Addison and Jones have to rub their defenders off of each other to create separation and to find open space. Unfortunately, the protection fails because the chip isn't efficient enough. This enables the defender to bend a corner, and Darnold needs to step up quickly. This makes him deliver a bad throw off time, which results in a breakup and a loss of down. Short passes also hurt Minnesota all night on defense. For example, this one play that led to a touchdown kind of exemplifies that. Minnesota only has four people in coverage while bringing everybody else on a cover zero blitz. However, on the back end, the coverage isn't man to man, it's zone. So there's two people in a high zone and two people in a low zone. Stafford ends up throwing a hitch route to Allen here in the right flat, and Allen catches and then runs all the way for a big score. This pretty much put the nail in the coffin and showcases that LA had the Vikings number all night long. Overall, those are the five things that I think kind of showcased what really went wrong and also what went right for the Vikings this game. The pressures didn't really get to Stafford, and the pressures got to Darnold really quickly. LA also efficiently used their no huddle system, while Vikings, when they were down, had kind of a little bit of trouble getting that ball rolling. But because LA went no huddle, they were able to make Vikings play a more simple system on the defensive end, which enabled LA to pick the plays that they wanted and also to take advantage of those said defensive structures. I think also the explosive run game was a big factor. I think having three explosive runs over 10 or more yards also kind of showcase LA could have ran the ball if they wanted, but the Vikings, when you're down early, you weren't really able to run the ball and establish it, which kind of worked in Los Angeles's favor.